I'm Ellen Francisco. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to have Hi, I'm Ellen Francisco, and I'm here to tell you about your energy body and let you in on a few little secrets in case you didn't already know. But you have got all this energy around you. It just circles all the way around your body all day long. And it has this invisible imprint of all kinds of things about you. Things that you hold on to, things that you're afraid of, things that you're repelling. Those are the kinds of things I see when I read people and I get into their energetic fields and can see through their auric structure and how all of their chakras that are coming out from these certain centers in your body, how it's all communicating. So you do want there to be some communication between your chakras, and sometimes that's really difficult because sometimes your head just doesn't know what your heart's doing, and there's a reason there's that expression, because it's cut off, right? So something's going on in the throat chakra that's cutting off the pathway for the chakra to communicate to itself and the other ones, I should say. So, and of course you've got the front and the back. Ideally, you want them pulled so that they're close enough to the auric wall so that the energetic transference of knowledge and information between each of the chakras can be transmuted up and down. It's almost like a capillary blood system as well, of all this knowledge that's being transmissioned, you know, up and down the system. So to be aware that you do collect things as you go out through the day. You know, you come up across people on the street or even people in your home and you brush up against their aura. You know, you do bring things back with you. You do have things stick around that aren't yours that's in your aura. So you do want to be aware that if you feel kind of stuck in certain areas or just feel a certain heaviness, that it may relate to things that you've accidentally taken on or picked up, you know, just doing normal everyday errands. So when I'm reading people, I'm looking at what's, you know, on the outside of their aura, meaning what is being shown to the world. What are you showing the world? It's almost like your sun sign in astrology. It's what everybody sees. So you may be attracted to somebody because of something you see in their auric field that is just subliminal, invisible, but you know it somewhere in you. You just know these things, these activation centers. You're like, I need to know this person. You know, so there's these memories that come through different chakras. Other things that you might see in the aura are the actual layers of each of your bodies. So there would be a layer for the physical, and I see it often as these you know, wrapped bands all the way around, you know, so one for the physical body and then the mental body and the emotional body, and I'll be able to tell that somebody's working really hard on getting rid of their inner annihilator, the parts of them that are constantly telling them they can't do it and can't do it and can't do it, won't do it, won't do it, won't do it. You know, I might see words floating through, you know, showing that there's just too much inner chatter or something like that, symbolic, but it is in there in a way that makes sense to your own symbology, right? So if you've had situations where water is important to you, or significant things have happened on water even in the previous lives, you know, there'll be all of this memory somewhere in that chakra, or pictures in the chakras I'm going through, looking at the system, and that information will be, you know, readily available. So so it is good when you do get lit up with other people, or you see that sort of seed of connection, or there's something in there, you know, it's usually some kind of memory that wants to awaken, to be cleared, and to be, you know, karmically reduced or completed. And it's a good thing to pay attention to that too. Often the people who light us up the most are here to teach us the most too. So somewhere along the line you committed to doing the work anyway, as well as that is something that I can see in your aura or in your chakra system. So it is important, like I said earlier, to draw out your chakras and get the sense that, you know, they can get compacted in, right? So if you get a lot of backache, if you get a lot of, you know, sacral stuff, you may have, you know, your root chakra isn't open as much, or you're a little too worried about surface things, so the front of you is all, you know, engorged instead. So you know, you have to redistribute the energy that's happening in between the chakras, the front and the back, because they communicate through a stem that hooks into the spinal column as well. So, you know, you want to make sure that there's as much movement in these energetic centers as possible. So when you see people start to slouch in certain ways, you know, that's their energetic pattern pulling in and not getting, you know, the stretch that they need. So, you know, why a lot of people get into yoga is to help open up their energetic centers, right? You're feeling into those places in yourself. So you do, yeah, you do need that connection. So often I say, you know, people who are lonely, really, they're only missing themselves. You know, it's after all, we're only looking to fill ourselves or find things that fulfill ourselves. So having that relationship with you on an inner level and understanding how you work and what you may take on and not want on and say goodbye to and want to cast off, you know, it's a lot of it just is coming up to the surface consciously for people to take a look at and to heal within themselves. So let the triggers happen and go with peace, because they are here to help you move things through you, right? I mean, it's better not to have these stagnations, because it closes off not only the communication but the future building that you can do, right? Like, you need parts of every chakra to create your world in a way that you want to. If you're too much up in your head, you know, you're thinking your way through it, you're not manifesting it down and grounding it into the earth in a way that makes sense. If you're, you know, in that visionary state all the time, it's going to be great, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be great, it's going to be great, you know, you're so spiritually high, you're of no earthly good. So you can't really you know, live in just your head or just in your heart or just on your gut, right? You have to be able to figure out how to get all of these parts working in tandem together. And the best way that I see it can happen is to make sure that your chakras are hitting your auric wall, so that the combination of the transfer of knowledge going up and down the aura all day long anyway, feeding information back and forth, all the little manipulations that you make all day long to make yourself comfortable, you know, are also happening in this energetic way as well. So, and how you root into the earth, you know, how you allow yourself to ground into your physical body. You know, it doesn't matter what you're doing up here if you can't live it down here, because it's going to just cut you off from pulling things together in a really cohesive way that makes sense for you. So if you're looking to, you know, try to boost your energy, you've got a lot of fatigue, you know, you're just running on a depletion cycle, you can very well just, you know, stand and start moving your, you know, hands through this invisible mass around you and see if you can feel where you might be blocked or might have pockets of, oh, there's a breeze there, I might have a vulnerability here. Okay, so all right, so I'm feeling a little more density in here. Okay, that's maybe guarded for a reason. So you know, you just sort of start to get a sense of, well, what's going on here? You know, if there are aches back here, you definitely want to move the energy around here and get it pooling. So it's not even like having to get your heart rate up too much or anything. It's just about connecting to what is moving around you. Like, can you feel some of your grids, your energy grids? When I look into people's auras as well, I can read in a three-dimensional sense, you know, what else is going on from these overviews, and there's all this space that you can just fill up, you know, with color and with liquid, and you can wash yourself out and you can fill yourself up with things that you need. I hope you've learned something here today about the aura and how not invisible it really is, and that you'll keep an open mind to enjoying its delights and figuring out what it's doing for you in all kinds of interesting, fascinating ways. So if you have enjoyed this content, please subscribe to my channel. More of this information is coming forth every week as I do classes and as I continue to work as a psychic medium and a healer and psychic surgeon. So yeah, and share, of course, if you'd like to, and you know, keep the faith. There's a lot going on in you that you don't know about, that isn't quite conscious, but is going to happen nonetheless. So keep an open mind and let me know if you need help along the way. I'll be happy to help. Bye for now.